All right, they fucking did it to us again. This was supposed to be the easy one. This was supposed to be easy. We're sitting there at 20-3 right before halftime, finally thinking, okay, finally we're gonna put it all together. We're gonna have our one easy game of the year, maybe our only easy game of the year, but we're gonna have a nice easy nice easy game, taking down the Jets. And there we were again, waning seconds of the game, sweating it out, because this is what the team does this year. This is how they are. This is how they insist on being. I was a little pissed at the end of this game. I was not like, the end of this game, I was not like, oh my god, I'm so excited that we got the win. I was kind of mad, and I'm never the type to be like mad after a win, because a win is a win. We beat a good team. We just beat a good team with one of the best defenses in the NFL, a team that's still in a pretty good spot to make the playoffs. It's going to be a tough team for whoever they face in the playoffs. And we put up more, and despite the offense being catatonic for stretches of this game, we put up more points than just about anybody's put up on them. And there was a lot to take away that was good. Like, the first half might have been the best, other than like the first half against Green Bay, was probably the best half they've played all year. I mean, it's certainly in contention. This is a long goddamn red light.
Some of the hits he was taking, some of the fact he saw a guy barrel it down and still threw a strike to, not a strike, but threw it to Jalen Reagor, and he put everything he could.
But yeah, it was a great first half. Like they were really good. Like they were having some, they were giving up some plays here or there on defense, but against the media's new darling Mike White, but they were showing up. The defense was showing up in the first half. I mean, they're never going to be great. I don't expect greatness. I just expect better than what we've seen. The first half, they were fine. Like they were covering receivers. They weren't really pressuring the quarterback much, but they were making some plays. They were stopping him on third down and everything. They got the pick on the first drive of the game. Hitman got the pick. We should have had a second one, but what was it? Evans and Bynum kind of banged into each other, and Jets got a 3 out of that drive. They shouldn't have gotten anything. And we started bad on offense. Kirk was like 0 for 5 or 0 for 6 to start the game. And it wasn't, and some of it was him. Like I'll say right now, Kirk was not very good today. Like this was certainly, of any of the games that were competitive that we were in this year, he had his worst game of those for sure. But he got it going a little bit in the first half. Like they kind of figured out, they sparked. They had that fourth down near midfield. I was like really nervous that they were going for that, but they went for it. They converted to Osborne, and then that kind of sparked him, and they got him going. They went and got a touchdown. Like that was the Cook one, and then they got it. And then I think the next drive they went and put it together, a nice drive, and got another touchdown. It's like it's 17-3, and the defense is playing well. You're kind of thinking, okay, this is gonna turn out well. And we got the ball again. We're going down. Looked like we were maybe even gonna put it in the end zone again before halftime. We only got the field goal, but it's 20-3, and offense has picked it up. Defense is playing very well, and the Jets are not great. You don't think they're going to be able to make a comeback, but then we had to, we went and did the stupid prevent bullshit right before halftime. We let them get a field goal. Now, granted, it was a 60-yard field goal. I believe this is now what? Now this includes the one against Dallas that they waved off for the replay, when their guy hit 2 60-yarders back to back. They only one of them counted. Zerline hits the 60-yarder, and then we also had the Will Lutz one in the London game, and almost the second one, but for a double doink. So we basically, if you try a 60+ yard field goal on the Vikings, you're gonna make it. I mean, that's unbelievable. I saw we've given up like 5 in our history. There haven't been that many 60-yard field goals in the history of the NFL, and we've given up 5 of them, and a couple of them this year. But it's like still we're getting the ball, start the third quarter, and you're like, okay, we're gonna, we still have a shot to make this kind of a laugher in the second half. But I think we all saw it coming when they go 3 and out. They play prevent offense to start the third quarter. It's like, hey, we're just gonna do a couple of blind runs and then maybe a little throw, and then I hate these they make these little like sideline swing passes to Dalvin Cook where he's constantly being tackled for losses or being pushed out of bounds for losses. Those never work. And as soon as that happened, it was like, okay, you know what's going to happen. They're going to make this. They're going to let this become a game. And when the third quarter has been a terrible quarter for the Vikings all year. They've been very bad in the third quarter. This was the worst. I mean, they were bad like in the third quarter against Dallas, but they were already kind of out of that game. So, but games that matter, that really mattered in the third quarter, this was the worst performance they had all year. I think what did they get, like 20 yards or maybe 30 yards total for the quarter on their drives? It was just terrible offense, terrible execution. Like, we missed a couple plays. I think it was in the third quarter. We had a drive where I think this was in the third quarter where we missed on 2 big plays. There was a deep shot to Hawkinson that Kirk overthrew it a little bit, and then there was a kind of an over the middle pass to JJ, and he was wide open and dropped it. That would have been a big play. But and the Jets were just kind of picking away because that really strong defense we were showing in the first half, it went away in the third quarter, and they were moving it. But the story of the game really is the red zone defense by the Vikings, because we really, even into the fourth quarter, like there was no point in the fourth quarter where the defense just completely put their foot down. Like the Jets were driving on us the entire second half, but we were stopping them in the red zone. Like we stopped, like they were kicking field goals. We were stopping them, just making the one play that maybe needed to make, or maybe they weren't making the play, and we were stopping them for field goals. And so they weren't catching up to us quickly. Like it took them the whole second half to get it really back to a 1-score game. But we're giving up these big plays, and we're giving up it's like, the red zone defense, like they played very well on red zone defense this year. They've been very bad this year for the most part defensively in the red zone. They weren't today, and that's why they won. That's why they're 10-3 or 10-2 right now, because they were able to come through in those red zone spots. Otherwise, the Jets would have won comfortably. But I'm not happy with the defense prior to the red zone. Like, it's nice. Hey, you gotta look at all these game reps you got practicing how you play in the red zone. Well, you didn't need to do that because you didn't need to let them get into the red zone all these times. But because we were giving up big plays, there was one big play, I forget which drive it was, where we like have 2 guys clanging into each other, and they rip off like a big play, like a 40 or 50 yard play. I think it was at Wilson. Like these things didn't have to happen. It didn't have to get to that point. Like even these drives, like they're not even using up that much time. Like usually if you have a drive and you get a field goal, like you took a long time with the drive. But no, they're getting right down in the red zone immediately, and then we're just stopping them. But they were chipping away, and it's like when it gets to 20-15, it's like, okay, if we don't fucking get this going, they're going to get the ball in a 1-score game. Technically 20-12 is a 1-score game, but then it was into the fourth quarter. I was sitting there the whole third quarter, like, just get to the fourth quarter, because at this point, I just kind of trust that the Vikings are going to do what needs to be done in the fourth quarter. And it's just like, get to the fourth quarter. And then fourth quarter comes, and it's 20-15, and here we are. We really need a drive. Offense has been bad, and I know the Jets defense is very good. They're no joke. I don't dock the Vikings too much for struggling against that defense. I mean, we saw, in the first half would have gone much worse if the refs hadn't started at least calling the fucking holding on our receivers. They were holding on every goddamn pass play. They finally threw some flags on a couple of these things, and got us some first downs, and then they kind of backed off a little bit. But that went away. I mean, until this drive in the fourth quarter, but then it was just like, because we've had this so many times in these close games this year, that it was like the one drive in the fourth quarter where we either need to score or we need to seal the game or whatever. They always get like the one drive, and this was the drive, because they come out, it's like they hit Munt for a first down, and they hit Hawkinson for a first down, then Dalvin runs for a first down, then they get at one point they got a deep shot, or kind of a deeper pass to Jefferson. He took a hit to the helmet. They moved it closer, and then we got Kirk hit JJ for the touchdown. So then it's like, okay, we can breathe now. It's 27-15. Yeah, there's still a decent amount of time left, but at least we've got back to 2-score game. I think it was like first play of the next drive, we give up just a giant run, and then we're right back into this again. And they're right back into the red zone again. And that was the one where, of course, we thought they got him on the 4th and goal. They just barely got in on the 4th and goal sneak. Frankly, I don't know how the refs missed that in the first place. It was quite clearly in. I mean, it wasn't even like the ball just barely touched the light. He was clearly in. And so we get that, and then it's like, okay, what are we doing here? It's like we still have to seal the game, and the offense does not seal the game. We're giving the ball right back, and then they're driving again, and get in the red zone again. We let them get right down there again, and this is the one where they almost complete the pass in the end zone on 4th down. Might have been dropped. I don't even know if I actually saw the replay on the jumbotron, but they just barely get away with the skin of our teeth. But it's at the one, and so we got to do the thing that the Bills didn't do against us. And it's like, yeah, there's football reasons why in that situation, when the Jets have 3 timeouts and you're pinned deep, and the amount of time left and everything, maybe it makes sense to just run 3 times and punt. I was not in favor of that, because I was like, you're going to be punting it so deep in your own end, and there's going to be enough time left, even no matter what. They're not good. The Jets didn't really run out of time. Like it wasn't a time thing. It was a downs thing. Like, you weren't really helping yourself any, just to make them burn their timeouts when they're probably going to get the ball close to midfield anyway. I think they got it right around the 50, and so then we got to sweat out the last one again. It's like, and I'm like, I'm standing there and like, if we don't get a sack or a turnover, we got our 3rd loss, but we got the turnover. Miraculous. This wasn't that. I was like, I thought I was like, this fourth quarter magic maybe was finally running out a little bit when we didn't get the 4th down. The replay showed that he got in on the 4th down, and we didn't quite get a couple of these things. Like, we had our hands on a pick. I think on that last series we could have picked it off a couple plays earlier. And we didn't get it, and I'm like, oh God, the magic's gonna run out. Like, you can't do this every week. I still think we can't do this every single week for forever and get all these wins, get all these close wins. But Bynum got in there, got the pick. Now that was a 4th down anyway, so if it was incomplete, it would have been our ball anyway. But we escaped. This was an escape, and that's why I wasn't feeling as good about it at the end, because I didn't feel like this was a game where like we rose to the challenge necessarily and got the thing done in the 4th quarter. This was like we just hung on by our fingernails, and again, like, we didn't play. It's not like we played a scrub team, but we I'm sorry, like you're up to, they're not a great offense. They're in a playoff spot right now because of their defense. Like you don't let a team that's that's kind of offensively challenged. And they do. It's not like they don't have any players, but come on. The media hypes up Mike White because it's New York, but he's not that. He's just an okay quarterback, but he still put up what was it, like 369 or something like that on us. And no touchdowns. That's got to be one of the largest yardage numbers ever for a guy who didn't throw a touchdown. But we let this happen. We let this happen. Like I don't know what it was. Like the big thing in that second half was they were giving up these big plays to like immediately get the Jets back in the red zone. Like we sure got our reps in the red zone. Sure got a lot of practice. But Jesus Christ, it didn't have to be this way. That's why I was. I'm never upset about a win. I'll take any win. If it's 2-0, I'll take the win. That's just that. I'll take any win. Especially, we've come through now this 5-game stretch, 5 games in a row against teams that are either in a playoff spot or were when we played them, because New England was in the playoff spot when we played them. They're not now. And we went 4-1, and I'll take that. I'll take that any time. Like we only have 1 game left now in our last 5 against a team that's in a playoff spot, and that's the Giants in a couple weeks. So I'll take that. And there's certainly enough good to take from this game that it'd be stupid to be mad about it. But I was feeling kind of, not dirty about it. Like the Vikings deserve the win because they made the plays. Like they made the plays in the red zone that they had to. But I'm not too happy that it came to this. It didn't have to get this way, And we've had a couple, obviously this year where we're kind of we need to play at the end, like against the Bears, we needed to play at the end. We needed a missed field goal against the Saints. Like sometimes we need these plays at the end, but I feel like the fact that we blew this big lead to get to that point, but we had a little bit of fourth quarter magic left. I don't know how longer we can do this. Like again, no team can do this every single week, and we've now done it 9 times. 9 times we've gotten 1-score wins. We didn't have a fourth quarter comeback today. It never got to a fourth quarter comeback. I know the second to last drive, I was almost like, just fucking let them score so we have time to respond. Because at that point, I would have been confident if we needed a field goal to tie it or would have win it. I would have been confident that we would have put together a drive. I may not have been confident in the kicker, but I would have been confident that we would have gotten in position. And but we got it done. Like maybe it's a little dirty on this one, but like we got to win against a playoff team, a tough team, a very good defense. It's a good win. We didn't get to clinch though because Jacksonville didn't even come close to doing their end of the bargain. I don't even know what I think Detroit might have dropped 40 on them. We didn't get any help with that. We didn't get any help chasing the 1 seed. The Eagles won. I know the 49ers are playing right now, and I already saw Jimmy got hurt, so I don't. Long term, that could spell some doom for the 49ers as far as seeding and everything. But we got a chance next week. We're going into Detroit. Now any win, any Vikings win or any Detroit loss, the whole rest of the season, and we get the division. So even if we aren't able to get it done next week in Detroit, then we come home and we got the Colts, we got the Giants. I mean, it'll get done. It's just a matter of when. We did officially eliminate the Packers from the division race, so that's good. At least we got that little nugget out of that. But yeah, I mean it's another entertaining game. This one was a little more infuriating. I was not really enjoying myself for much of that second half. But hey, we did get it done. 10-2. Still the 2 seed. Hoping that something works out, we can maybe climb higher. I don't know if that's going to happen, but hoping we can at least hold on to the 2. And it was ugly. Like it's never smooth with this team. Like I don't think anyone's ever going to buy it again, even if we're up a couple touchdowns at halftime or something like that. In any of the rest of these games, I don't think anyone's going to believe. Okay, this is the game we're going to blow somebody out. We're going to have a comfortable win. It's just not going to happen with this team. They don't do it. They don't know how to do it. I don't know what it is, but maybe they just like to toy with us. I feel like they're almost trolling us when we get a game like this. But you won, beat the Jets, beat a good team. You held on by the skin of your teeth, and 10-2, one tiny step closer to the division title, and wasn't a great game. I mean, like, it was one of Kirk's worst games statistically. Jefferson caught a couple made a couple tough catches. Rager caught a big pass. Madison and Cook each got a touchdown, but nobody did a lot on offense. I mean, we got outgained almost 2-1, but we won. It's one of these games you look at the stats afterwards, and maybe you're like, well, how did you win this game? Well, they won it because, as they've done so many times this year, they just make a couple of key plays in key spots in the fourth quarter, and that's what they did again. And it didn't have to come this way, but all the times they've had to do it, they know they can do it, and they've done it again, and they'll probably do it again. And I'm just about done here. So hey, beat the Jets. We're 10-2, and we had another nerve-wracking Sunday amidst a sea of them, but wouldn't have it any other way.